or happy cocktail hour, wherever you are. Welcome to the Sunday morning shit show, which brings me to today's topic. What is shit show of the year? Unfortunately, not just for us. There are people out there that are in a lot worse shape than we are. It doesn't make it any better. They don't deserve it any more than we do. But no, it's the end of the year. Officially now, since we had our last runner last night, the worst year that I've had in training since 2012. So, prize money wise and win wise too, I think we won only 4 this year. So why is the question you would ask? We've been asking it. We wish we knew. We have some reasons, but like a plane crash, it's a cascade of reasons. It's a bunch of things go wrong, and it all adds up to nothing good. No clear answer, unless of course you're flying in Russian defended airspace. They had a reason. Anyway, so yeah, we've had a crap year. It's Sunday morning. Our horses are. We've turned out today. I'm actually running really late because I've managed to get everybody in the paddock, which is where these horses are now, and we've changed. The colts were out earlier. The fillies are having fun now, and since they were providing quite a nice spectacle, we spent some time filming them and watching them and consequently falling behind and everything else. But there's not a lot left to do because we only have 9 horses still here, 5 horses on vacation. The 9 that are still here will soon be 8, maybe 7 or 6. This sort of in flux. Some of this was by design, some not so much. The horse that's usually in this box is now in the paddock there. She's going to go to America soon, which is really cool for her. Unfortunately, she's going to America because she's retiring there because she had an injury on the gallops when another horse galloping behind her struck into her, which is a really crappy thing to happen, and usually it's not the end of the world, but it just happened to fall at the wrong place for her, and it hit a tendon, and it would heal and she could race, but she's 2 going 3. We've missed that boat, and she's kind of built to be a 2-year-old. So and since, like all of our 2-year-olds, which is another reason why things kind of didn't go well this year, we started the year with 7 2-year-olds. Now, 7 2-year-olds is normally, that's great for a small yard, except that the 2-year-olds we get are not the 100,000 plus yearlings that you see at Arcana. We get the ones that are not so expensive and sometimes free, which, good horses can come from there. And I think we've got two still running, 2 that have managed to start running, I should say. And I think both of those will be okay, but neither of them are really 2-year-olds. They're going to be better. They're going to be 3-year-olds, not 2-year-olds. Well, and in 2 days they're going to be literally 3-year-olds anyway. But we managed to get them started a bit, so that's good. But the ones we had either had injuries or just weren't good, or this happened and that happened, as is the case with young horses. And so consequently, we spent a lot of time working with these horses for no good result on the race course, which happens. And then we also had a bunch of horses from Greece, which was another fiasco because they weren't nearly as good as their owners thought they were, because they won everything in Greece, but they weren't good enough for France. And the 2 that were good enough got moved to another trainer because the owner did not understand how long it takes to qualify a horse for handicaps in France. And then that horse subsequently won. That's just kind of emblematic of the year we're having. What else is going on? So we had the Greek horses that weren't good. We had the 2-year-olds that weren't good. We don't have a lot of older horses that are good. Those horses, the older ones, won their races this year. And some of those are still around. Corella Deville is here. We claimed another, it looks like a nice horse. We'll see soon. Morheeb is the biggest problem at the moment because we don't know what happened with him. He was a bank. He was just a horse that's in the money all the time. And we ran him a lot, and then we gave him a break, which he truly deserved. But since he's come back from that break, not been able to get him moving again. He's a big, heavy colt, and so maybe that's something to do with it. But he's running like there's something wrong, but I can't find out what's wrong unless, of course, he needs gelding. But that's not what it seems. I mean, he's not a hot horse. He's not even particularly lazy because he does move. I'm riding him myself lately, and he can move. It's not a problem. But it's been frustrating, and I don't know why we're having trouble getting him back. So that's the main problem to solve at the moment. Cruella was running bad, but she doesn't do fiber sand. She needs to run on turf. So she needs to go to Cannes-sur-Mer, which is another question. To Cannes or not to Cannes? We used to do it every year for 12 years. Fantastic place to go. I love Cannes, except that it's getting harder to win races down there, but it's also extremely expensive. And even though the owners have to pay a higher rate to go to Cannes, and most of them do want to go, we still lose money personally because I have to go and pay for where I'm staying, and we don't charge owners for everything because then they wouldn't want to go. And we can't really justify that because we want to be sure down there, but as you know, in racing, nothing is sure. So, good Lord, this box is in a state not great. She's gonna have to live with this and get a proper clean out tomorrow on Monday. So, yeah, that's what's going on. Anybody joining us? Who is it? We're probably too late for Australia. We're too early for America and Canada and all the Frenchies out loud. Who's listening? Come on, speak up. Don't be shy. Okay, they're shy. No, the Australian guys, we did it at a different time last week, and they're usually always here, but not this time. So that was last year. What's going to happen next year? That's the question. The question is also staff, finding good staff, because we like everybody, you hire somebody, they're okay, and then they're not okay, and then so I've really scaled the staff down. The problem is when you're between two, you need 2 people or 3 people, and the number of horses is so fluctuating that it's and there's no flexibility in the labor laws. So Pierre, our neighbor, who's also a trainer. So it's a challenge to get the right amount of staff. So basically, in November, we had 18 horses. And I looked around the yard, and I'm like, of the 18 horses that are here, only about 5 of them are really likely to do anything in the short term. And it's too much money to work for. The horses have to come in the money on the race course. Otherwise, the day rate isn't enough. And you lose money. And plus, it's just no fun. I mean, you want horses that can do something. So we get rid of them. We get rid of a lot. We either put them on vacation if they needed to go, or we just told their owners that for us it was not worth it. And I just went down to just about nothing for the end of the year now, which is absolutely fine because we have a very small staff at the moment, and I'll need to find one more person in January, but I'm not pushed for that at the moment. So that's a good thing. So going forward, we've got the 5 that are on vacation. It's good old Jacko boy who will come back and he'll win his race again in March, as he always does. I know one day this will stop, but there's no sign that he's ready to stop racing yet. He's on his winter vacation. He gets 2 months in the winter and 2 months in the summer because he's a heavy ground horse. He runs 1,400 meters or a mile. There's no point in doing anything else or trying anything else. That's what he does. And he likes race courses like Compiègne, Longchamp, and Saint-Cloud. So that's where we take him. And he always holds up his end of the bargain. And the 2-year-old Volt, who is ours and Kay's, That's a horse we bred from a mare that we trained before that I loved, big gray mare called Pantomime. And Volt did not have an auspicious start in life. He was almost dead when he was born. Thought he was going to be dead. And he's bred to he's by a nothing stallion. But that horse came in and he's huge like Mom. And he's surprising us all the time. I put him on break now, but he might be an interesting horse. So he's out there. He'll be fun. We have a new yearling called Steel Magnolia, who's being backed now. And she'll be coming in shortly. So down the 2-year-old track again. And who else is out? Faster went through the sales, got bought by someone who left her here. So she's on vacation. So we have Volt, Jack, Faster, Rapide. Assez Rapide has a knee, a little bit of bone bruising on a knee that needs to heal. So she's going to be on a longer vacation. And I'm missing somebody. I'm missing number 5. Rapide, Faster, Volt, Jack, and who that was? Colts. No More Hate is back. I can't think of who the 5th one is, but I know I have 5 names on my board there. But so the challenge now is that if we go to Kenya, we leave in 2 weeks or less now, and those horses have to come in late January, February, and get moving. So that means, well, it means I'm not sure what to do, to be honest. I haven't decided. I might just send the horses to Kenya that need to go to Kenya without me and just kind of go back and forth to make sure everything's going okay. That's an option. Not my favorite option because I'd like to go myself because I could use some sun. That's the thing about winter here. When I grew up, winter was cold and snowy and it was a dry cold. And okay, it was, but we had snow and sun. Here, it starts to rain and get foggy and shite, and you don't see the sun for months. And it is, if you're a depressed person, don't live here. This is a really crappy place to live in the wintertime. So that's why Cannes has always been our nice little ray of sun, because Cannes-sur-Mer is in the one little corner of France where the sun shines almost every day, all year round. So even though it gets chilly down there, it's still a lot more bearable, and it's dry, which is nice. This is humid and crap. So who's here? Who's with us? Where are you from? Because we're trying to decide what time to try to do these. And Sunday evening French time didn't really work last time. Didn't seem to work for anybody. This might be too late in the morning. Well, too early in the afternoon and too late in the morning to work for people too. You guys that are watching, where are you from? Or you're all deciding to be timid? They're all deciding to be timid. Maybe they don't have keyboards. Tim's looking. Need to get some horses in from the paddocks and feed them their lunch because they're going to want that soon. So yeah, it should be. We're going to keep going. I did renew my license for next year. I did hesitate about that, and I'm talking. Yesterday we were in Deauville with a 2-year-old that wants to be a 3-year-old, and you run these races. You're not going to do anything, but you need to get them the experience. And no, she ran okay. Coco ran. It's baby steps. It's okay. It's okay, but you need some winners to be following that up with the older horses that we don't have. But no, I was talking with my fellow wizards, and a lot of trainers, especially women, actually, have all thought so much about quitting this year. And a lot of trainers actually have quit this year, in addition to the ones that are retiring. Young people are quitting too. I had another group of trainer candidates in our on our doing the exams that I did the exams for just last week and a half ago, and you know, people still want to get into this business, but they kind of do realize that it's a long shot to stay around very long. Oh, there's a piece of something. This hay is really full of sticks. The Swandy there. Right. Anybody have any questions? Otherwise, we're going to go get some fillies in from the field, feed them their lunch, feed us our lunch. I think this hay is crap. I'm just going to drop that. And wish you all a happy Sunday and a good New Year. We're hoping.
John Baxter, I was wondering what happened.
He's lost the question, John. What happened with the filly? What'd you hit? Did I look? Here, let me see.
John Baxter.
Oh, I had a share in her when she was at Jean-Claude Rouget. Which filly? He's a colt. Are you talking about Eduardo? No? As I claimed a horse, I claimed one this week that was with Rouget for a while. Started out well. Then he disappeared for a little while, and apparently they sent him to a jumps trainer to try. Oh, Minipa. Yeah, Minipa. We won a race with her, miraculously. Minipa was, I usually don't claim from Rouget ever because they usually never run a step. And Minipa, we did manage to win a race with her. She's very, very stressed out filly, but we got won a race and then claimed her a few years ago. Yeah, and then she was placed at Clairefontaine, not highly placed, 4th or 5th at Clairefontaine, and she got claimed by August, I think it was Augustin Normand that claimed her for breeding. And she went from that race straight to breeding, which I was really happy about. I was really happy, A, she got claimed, and that she was just going to go for breeding. So that was good. Now, her first yearling went through the sales. It sold for not a whole lot of money. I think 18, 20,000, something like that. So those are just getting started now. So, and I forgot who that foal was by, but yeah, Minipa. She was a nice looking little filly. So I claimed another horse last week that also was with Rouget against my rules, but this horse was a little bit different of a profile because it's a Eduardo colt, 3-year-old colt, who's about to be 4, and he I think he debuted twice in the money. He debuted in the money, then made money again, then won in Toulouse on heavy ground. Then he ran 4 or 5 decent races for Rouget. Then he disappeared off the radar in the spring. And apparently they sent him to jumps to see if he would go over jumps. And they didn't geld him first, which is a little bit odd, but okay. And then he apparently can't jump. We haven't tried. And so they sent him to Botti. And Botti ran him twice claimers, and he was in the money both times. So the second claimer, we claimed him. He's going to go to Kenya because he can run in there's good 4-year-old races in Kenya, and we don't have good ones up here. So that's why he has to go to Kenya, and Corella has to go to Kenya because she needs to run on turf. He should go to Kenya. No, we did with him what we do with all of our horses when we get a new horse in. We took x-rays everywhere, trotted him out. As soon as he walked out of the box, Pirate, as soon as he walked out of the box, he was walking behind, like I said, oh, okay, something's going on there. And I wasn't sure if he had string halt or if he was sore somewhere. And he doesn't really have string halt, but he is sore somewhere. His back x-rays are probably the worst I've ever seen. We had one other horse called Crisalsa that also had horrible kissing spines. And we were able to win 2 races with him. Prof! What do you have? He's got something he's not supposed to have.
Come here, Prof.
We were able to win a couple races with him. We injected his back twice at a short interval, which is something I don't usually do. And he was okay. And his back this guy's back, Eduardo. He has really, really bad kissing spines, but he got Prof. And so we treated his back, and he'll be back under saddle tomorrow. But he's been in the money like that. So I mean, again, kissing spines aren't that big a deal depending on how each horse handles them. Sometimes they respond to a treatment, sometimes they don't. People in England and I think America are doing the surgery now, which I don't think that's so far not in favor of that. Hey guys, hey. And but anyway, so Eduardo is, I'm thinking he'll run on opening day, opening day in Kenya. And that's the plan for him. He's a couple of 4-year-old races down there. Now, if he can run anything like he's been running, and if we haven't managed to, like everything else I've touched this year, it turns to dust instantly, he should be okay. He should be a Conte level horse. But we'll see. So far, so good. He's a little bit coltish. Was he in the garbage, maybe? Yeah, that's the plan with Eduardo. There, before the goat and dog show starts. Here, live TV. Clarice, out, Clarice. The other night they were playing like that, and it was dark, and Prof disappeared, and he came running straight back at the goats, and then I just heard a yelp, and he went straight to the house. He ran head first into Clarice's horns. It was pretty funny. Not for Prof, but he deserved it. So anyway, right. Yeah.
Hello, Mark Kramer.
Hi, Mark. It's shit, isn't it? Oh God, it's hard to be optimistic. It'd be easier to be optimistic during gray skies if you were winning races all over the place, which we are not. But again, that's weighing on the decision of whether or not we do Kenya. We'll see. I always hit my. So we have 1 box left, and then 4 horses to bring in, and then lunch to be made. This is Corilla's box. Any other comments, questions, people? Except for, peanut gallery troll comments. We sometimes get those too. No.
Another question.
Okay. Well, I will leave you because I'm going to finish my one last box. Gonna bring these horses in from the paddock. Probably get the gray horses before they figure out that there's no electricity in the paddocks they're in. They haven't figured that one out yet. And we will see you maybe next Sunday after the new year begins, and we'll figure out what the hell it is we're doing for Kenya or not for Kenya, and how we're going to staff keeping both places running if we do go to Kenya. I mean, either we take everybody or I don't know. I'm not sure. The 2 horses that debuted, Ascot in that went for her second race last night and made some progress. I either have to get a 3rd race into her to get a handicap mark before she has a little bit of a break. She's going to be a heavy ground, long distance horse. She's huge. She's got nothing but legs. And Kikoa Makani, who is the other 2-year-old who's now he's had 4 runs now. His 4th run was this past week. And I think he'll be an okay horse, but him, he is like a kid that doesn't want to eat his carrots. He's like, everything you ask him to do, oh, no, I can't do that. No, can't do that. No, try doing this. No, can't do that. And then when he finally insists that he does it, he's okay. And it's like, okay, yeah, I can do this. So at the moment, it's really small steps with him, because even when he ran last time, like before, he didn't want to run with the other horses. He didn't want to get on the truck, didn't want to go in the starting gate. Everything is no until he goes, okay. But the penny's going to drop for this horse. I think it's going to take 2 more races before he starts to contribute a little bit. And taking him to Kenya isn't the worst idea because he would have to grow up a little quicker down there, and that's his big problem. He's just a kid in his brain, and he needs to grow up a bit. And Prof needs to stop tormenting Pirate. Well, it's a two-sided battle there. Like Alistair once said, Prof has the agility, but Pirate has the hardware. And yep, right. Thank you for joining us, the little crowd that's here, and maybe we'll see you next week with a plan of some kind. Bye. Subscribe, like, all those things. Leave your comments.